Former 8th overall pick by the Knicks back in 2005. Won a championship with the 2016 Cavaliers. Channing Frye, now working for Turner Sports. Also co-host Road Trippin', a podcast with Richard Jefferson, Allie Clifton, Kendrick Perkins, and also has a wine company called Chosen Family Wines, a partnership with former teammate Kevin Love. Channing Frye back on the program. Thanks for joining us. Oklahoma City's biggest mistake last night was what?
Started to get stagnant in that last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. I think if you watch that first Knicks game, the Knicks were moving the ball was finding energy, and the last 6 minutes, OKC started to play, we're trying not to lose instead of winning basketball. And they stopped going at Tyrese Halliburton, they stopped attacking the paint, and they started to just give it to SGA, and everybody got tight. And then the Pacers said, oh, here we go. And it's absolutely amazing as somebody who's played basketball, won at the highest level, played every position, whether that's start, DMP, came off the bench, to see how locked in for 48 minutes Indiana is consistently. It's just death by 1,000 cuts, right? It is. They put TJ McConnell in. He's playing at a high level. They put Neesmith in. He's playing high level. Then they put different rotations in. I'm just impressed at Rick Carlisle's ability to lift up every single one of his players to play at this level consistently and not play hero ball until the end. And Tyrese says, oh, y'all need me to be the hero? Okay, here we go. Like, whether I have 2 points or 12 points, 200 points, I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this last shot.
Okay. I was yelling at the TV last night. Now, keep in mind, I picked the Pacers to win, but I can't believe the defense that OKC had. There's one guy in the building, I don't care what kind of game he's had prior to that. There's one guy who has been built for this. He's not afraid of this moment. I cannot let Tyrese Halliburton beat me. I can't let him go right. I can't. Okay, help me understand this. What did you see there that he did and OKC did or didn't do?
One, they stopped going at him defensively. I think if you rewatch that first half, they put him in actions. And anytime in the NBA, especially in the finals, you get an action, meaning two people go on the ball, whether that's a show and get back. OKC does that really well. Indiana, Tyrese was struggling at the beginning of this because I don't think the Knicks went at him. So when they put two on the ball, they were getting downhill, 2 feet in the paint, spraying out, putting him in different screening actions. They wanted to keep Neesmith and Nembhard on SGA as much as possible, where that's kind of exhausting to his mind. If you give a guy like Tyrese Halliburton 4, 5, 6 minutes where he doesn't have to necessarily be in an action run, be in rotations, he can settle into the game and start to control it. I thought at the end of the game, OKC they weren't present. Right. And in basketball, at the end of the game, you need to be present to like what the game plan is. If they were present, they would have ran over and made him throw it. But give this to Indiana. They had 7 dudes in double figures. So who do you double team if the guy who's the clutch player, maybe of our generation, which is crazy to say.
I know
that Tyrese. I mean, it's crazy to say, but do you double team for a guy who has 23? This guy has 14. This guy has 20. That has 17.
I don't care. I'm not letting Halliburton take the shot. I'm just not.
Totally. But in that split second that you have to make a decision, right? Usually you would feel this guy doesn't want to shoot. That guy's afraid of the moment. Siakam has had big moments. Neesmith has had big moments. Miles Turner has made big shots. So like that split second of not going, the shot is already up. And that's what makes them, I've watched a lot of basketball. I don't know how they do it or how they practice that. But a coach always says, hey, play 48 minutes. And they literally play 48 full crazy minutes. It's a masterclass.
I brought this up at the start of the show. There are certain teams that are so good, and my reference point is UNLV back in the 90s. They blew everybody out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I would keep reminding people, in March Madness, you have one game usually where it's going to get tight. And I want to know when it gets tight, how you perform. And we saw that. It got tight. They had a bad play. Duke ended up beating them. OKC's been blowing teams out by an average of 13 points. Game got tight. And all of a sudden, Indiana's been playing in these tight games. And you saw the difference. I mean, SGA got the shot that he wanted, didn't go.
Totally.
Siakam had an unbelievable block on SGA. But then you gave them a puncher's chance. And that's all they've asked for. Hey, nobody wants to see us. Nobody knows us. Well, we're going to hang around a little bit longer there. And I think it's a testament to those players, to that coaching staff of we're down 15. We're not going to do anything drastic. Although Obi Toppin came in, he played terrible, and then he played unbelievable. It's like Rick Carlisle keeps spinning the roulette wheel and going, okay, let's try that guy. Nemhard might have a good game, or Neesmith might have a good game. Miles Turner can, but the consistent is Siakam and Halliburton.
Well, I'll say this. I think what Rick Carlisle does, and I say this to my friends, he's the best Jenga player of all time. He's going to keep tapping a brick until it gets soft. And the thing is, the first half, if they hadn't the calmness of him as his leader to go, guys, we have God knows how many turnovers. And they've only scored 9 points. We can control that. 1, 2, what's wild is Siakam is the biggest mismatch for OKC, I would say, next to like Jokic, because Chet can't guard Siakam one-on-one, right? So now you got to play a smaller lineup. So now the best team in basketball, second best team, if you're looking at the Cavs, right, for the regular season, is maybe changing their lineup that's worked all year for one guy.
I know.
Hold on now.
I know.
That's crazy, right? And then 2, a great coach, whether it's Spoelstra, whether that's Joe Mazzulla, whether that's Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, whoever. When you're allowed to use your players that don't have egos as chess pieces, Rick Carlisle is just every time Dagnall makes a play, he just says, oh, rook to pawn 7. Like he just is playing and they run out of moves because he's like, oh, this guy's ego hurts that I took him out. Where the Pacers go, oh, that's just Rick. Like I'm going back in, no problem. But it's for people who love basketball, like you can watch that game again and just see the moves be made and just appreciate the skill set of everyone on the court.
Talking to Channing Frye, Turner Sports NBA analyst and co-host of Road Trippin' podcast. Also won a championship with the Cavs back in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, but with that play, when Kyrie hits the shot, is LeBron prepared for Kyrie to take the shot? Like he knows, like Jordan did with Steve Kerr and John Paxson. They were going to take the last shot. Was LeBron prepared to not take that last shot that you guys knew if Steph was guarding Kyrie, he was taking the shot?
So if you watch that whole series, Andrew Bogut, and I've said this before, was the biggest thing that happened that series, right? They had to go small. And with that small lineup, Kyrie I don't want to say, the right word isn't hunting, but again, the only action we got, which is not a switch, they were the number 1 defense in the league. The only non-switch where Golden State would put 2 people on the ball was when Steph was getting ready to guard Kyrie. So we said, hey, and I don't know if this is true or not. We said, Kyrie, he don't want to guard you. So we start pumping him up, like get him, like a dog, like get him. And all of a sudden, Kyrie just does what Kyrie does. And so for us, the egos went out the door. We said, hey, that's the best matchup for us. We have Tristan down there boxing out. We have Kevin down there boxing out. We have Braun down there boxing out. So just in case, I think Richard was in the game or JR boxing out. So that's 6'9", 6'9", 6'10", 6'10 versus their small group with Kyrie shooting the ball. Like you can't plan that over the smallest guy on the court. And Kyrie is, and people are going to be upset, but watching Kyrie for the years that I was there, my short time, he's the most skilled player I have ever seen, top to bottom, hands down, regardless. When he shot that, we all knew, oh, that's good. Like it wasn't even a thought of, is this going in or not? When he got to his spot and did that little shimmy, we're like, oh yeah, it's it. That's it. It's just, he's just that ridiculous. But yeah, Braun was like, Man, dude, to do that 41-point triple doubles like 3 games in a row, like, and people are like, "Well, you didn't shoot the last
I
shot."
know.
That's because I'm playing with Kyrie, you idiot. Like, and that's the matchup. Like, people just make stuff up, but if you're ready to win, you go with the best matchup. And last night, not to bring this around, Indiana started hunting Chet. Chet had a bad game. I don't think he's going to play like that every game. But the minute Chet like started to be a little weary, they go, "Got him. We got something." And they started attacking him. They started going at him. And in the finals, that's a lot. It sucks when you start getting hunted. Because you're either gonna have to sit down and move them puppies, or you're gonna be over there.
What's it like to be hunted during a game?
Oh,
Knowing
it
that,
sucks.
like
It sucks.
who was the guy that you were guarding and you were like, damn, he's hunting me.
We're in the NBA Finals, and they're playing 5 guards. They were playing Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green, Sean Livingston, Steph Curry, that's his brother, Steve, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. And they put Varejao in because remember, I got traded for Varejao. When they put Varejao in, I came in real quick, and then they took Steve Kerr, immediately took him back out and put Harrison Barnes in, right? So I'm now guarding Harrison Barnes, who's basically a guard, and I'm a center, true center, and my feet are like cement blocks. So they were like, "Where's Channing?" So that's why, like, during the NBA Finals, I was like, "Man, listen, y'all, we're talking about the best team ever to play, one of the best teams ever to play basketball, and you got slow foot Ogre Channing trying to guard Klay, Steph, Andre Iguodala, who was a guard with me at Arizona. Stop it! Like, what are we doing?" So hunting does not feel good because you're like, I can't move that fast. This is not who I am as a player. And this is just not my time. Hey, Eastern Conference Finals, I could cook. Finals versus Golden State, maybe, hey, I got you here, bro. The paychecks ain't that big.
We've been talking about the Hall of Very Good. Not the Hall of Fame, but those players who were just, they're outside. They're on the patio. Like Jamal Crawford, Hall of Very Good.
Right.
Joe Johnson, if you want to put him in there. I don't know if you have a nominee for the Hall of Very Good, whether it's a player now or maybe somebody you played with or against. Like Kevin Love. Man. Is Kevin Love a Hall of Very Good or a Hall of
So let me ask you, this is the Basketball Hall of Fame, right? Yeah. Or the NBA Hall of Fame? If it's basketball, he's a no question. So he wins National Player of the Year in high school, wins, I think, 2 state championships, goes to college, wins there, goes to the NBA for 2 years as a power forward, a chubby white dude from Portland, Oregon, is in conversations to be the best. Is he the best power forward in the NBA? Then changes his role, wins a championship in Cleveland, goes to the finals 4 times. I know he got hurt, but he still was on the team. Goes to the finals 4 times, goes to Miami, goes to the finals 2 more times. So, like, to me, how much winning does somebody have to do?
So he's a Hall of Famer.
Where they go.
He's a Hall
of Famer.
Okay, all right.
So a Hall of Good.
Who would you nominate? Like Jamal Crawford, would you say Hall of Very Good?
For sure. Jamal, for sure. I think you look at his impact as the culture of basketball. I think you look at his impact on like his skill set, the 6th man, the war, like being maybe the greatest 6th man. I think
But is he a Hall of Famer or a Hall of Very Good?
I think he has to be a Hall of Very Good. Maul's my guy. Okay. I think he's Maul my guy, but winning also equates to this, right? If he had won a chip or gone to the NBA Finals, I think that would change my opinion on that. And Maul's my good friend, and so I kind of feel bad saying that. But he is above very good, but he's not a true Hall of Fame. Somebody that's gone to the finals 5 times, All
right, give me give me somebody that you want to nominate for the Hall of Very Good.
Honestly, I would have to say Amari Stoudemire.
That's a good.
I mean, he was my teammate. I mean, maybe LaMarcus Aldridge. Like I'm just gonna go through power forwards.
Oh,
LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, they were. I'm just gonna go through power forwards. Monsters at their position. Obviously, the league was smaller, but you look at their body of work. You look at how they did it. You look at their impact. You look at their All-Star nominations. I mean, LaMarcus, you look at how many shots or many points he had. He only had 3 moves. He had a fadeaway, a hook, and a face-up. And he was cooking. Trust me, I play him every day. It was cooking, and Amari cooking. Like,
What about
his impact on basketball.
Stephon Marbury? Hall of Very
Oh,
good?
I think this is crazy. I think Stephon Marbury needs to be in the Hall of Fame, the real Hall of Fame. Like, I think Stephon Marbury's impact on basketball globally. He's one of the best guards I have ever played with.
Okay, more talented, Kyrie or Stephon Marbury?
Oh, talented?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, Steph. I think people forget how good Steph was.
I know.
Like, oh, man. I know his sneakers were ho-hum, and he's going to get mad I said that. We used to make fun of those sneakers, but it was a great idea. I have to go with Kyrie just because, like, but it's not skill, it's talent. Freak. That is a great question. I want to say Steph because he has more hops. Steph because athletically, Steph was just – Kyrie is just an absolute crazy man when it comes to basketball. Like, he doesn't – I think people say it. He doesn't know what move he's going to do until you move your foot. So for his ability to move his body as fast as you move your feet without being like, I'm just going to go right, he's like, oh, that foot's up, I'll go left, stop behind the back, stop, cross. One of the best shooters I've ever seen. Like,
how about Sean Marion, Hall of Very Good?
Dude, these are hard questions because Sean Marion, how is he not in the Hall of Fame though? Like, he did win a chip though, right? In Dallas.
And to have a shot that started, at his belly button.
Dude, but no, like, the fact that he would shoot, the thing about it is, it wasn't the prettiest, but he always made it when it counted, which made it even worse, right?
Yeah.
But like, his impact on basketball, it was like, oh, you're playing good? Here, let me shut that water off. Oh, your center's playing good? Here, let me go guard him. Your guard's playing good? And like, his motor, his bounce, like that. I think we got to look back at like those early 2000 power forwards. That era is actually so much fun to watch. I was thinking about guys like, Chris Kaman and LaMarcus Aldridge and Boozer and Mehmet Okur and, obviously KG, Kevin. You had David West. You had Chris Bosh. It was a monster. And Tim Duncan, who am I? But it was a monster every single night playing those dudes.
Yeah, you guys should do a podcast on that. Power forwards.
Oh, we should. Yeah. But Richard be talking too much. Now that's where he's on.
Great to catch up with you. We always
thank
appreciate
you guys
your
for
time,
having me, man. I appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend.
That's Channing Frye, Turner Sports NBA analyst, co-host a Road Trippin' podcast, also as a wine partnership with former teammate Kevin Love. I love when you ask these guys about certain players because Stephon Marbury was an incredible talent. He had a better career in China. The Knicks were a mess back then when he was playing. But he was, like, you forget just how great he was. Yes, Marv.
He was one of the first one and dones. Like, he is at Georgia Tech for 1 year. It's like, nope, he's going to the league.
Yes, Seton.
Yeah, I feel like Stephon Marbury in some ways, for some players as great as they are, it isn't always their play that stands in the way, but it's just the timing, And sometimes timing is just wrong. You might be the right player at the wrong time or
wrong team.
Yeah, wrong team. There's a lot of things there's a lot of different factors that go into the success of a player.